What's up guys, this is Andrew from Christian Metalhead Brotherhood, here to do another Q&A video for you guys. Let's get right into it. Before we get started, if you have any questions for me, comment below any questions you have on this video and I will answer them in the next Q&A video. I had several questions this week, kind of throughout the week, so I wrote them all on sticky notes. Cut to heart. What do you believe should be the criteria for a Christian band to actually be considered Christian? I don't think they necessarily have to come out and say, hey, we're a Christian band, because there's been bands in the past that did that and they weren't Christian. So I believe it's more of like you can hear it ring out in their lyrics, and you can see it, in just like who they are and how they act, and what they're all about. And that's kind of how I see it. For me, like, they don't have to necessarily be like we're a Christian band. And but for a lot of bands I listen to, you can clearly hear it ring out in the lyrics. Also, one thing is, just because they aren't like praise Jesus like all the time doesn't mean they're not necessarily like Christian artists. I heard one guy, I'm pretty sure it's Maddie Montgomery from For Today, that said that they don't actually aren't a Christian band, because a Christian band would be, that type of band that, was all about like worshiping in all of their lyrics. And for most Christian bands these days, like, it isn't always straight worship music. A lot of it is just like telling our stories, using like our past struggles and telling people about them and how we overcome them, and just how God got us through them, or a time in our life whenever we were like struggling and just trying to find help and reach out to God. Or there's a lot of different things. In my mind, they're still Christian bands, even though they don't like openly always or like worship music. I think even though it isn't like always worship music, that it is still glorifying to God, and that they're still using their stories or their struggles to be a witness, and to give hope to other people that may have been through the same thing. That's kind of like how I see things. They don't necessarily have to say that they're a Christian band, because like there's a lot of even bands today that say they are, or said they were, and now like either they like turned away, or they just like never were. And like the Bible says, those who do turn away never actually were like actual like followers. That was a really good question. Thank you for that. Slave of Christ 888. What are your expectations for the next Impending Doom album? Hey guys, so if you didn't know, I did hear from a friend that Impending Doom is like in the works of another album. I don't know how long it'll take, but I'm pretty sure with the last album, it was like several years that they went without releasing an album. I think they kind of went on a hiatus, or I think that's what it's called when bands kind of like stop for a while, just to like chill and try and figure things out. But and they came back, released their album last year, Sin and Doom Volume 2. It was a really great album. It didn't have as much of a heavy sound as like their past album, Death Will Reign, but I'm pretty excited for some more stuff from them in the future. I'm really hoping they'll bring back that like really heavy, brutal sound. And I don't know like what was really missing in the last album, but something just was different and it wasn't as heavy. So I'm hoping that they kind of bring back that, whatever it was. Another question from Slave of Christ. If you could be featured with any metal band, what band? Definitely Phineas. Hands down. That would be so cool. Phineas is like so cool. and they seem like the most chill dudes like you'd ever meet. Probably like my favorite, one of my favorite bands right now. And hey, maybe they'll release an album this year. That would be great. But yeah, definitely Phineas. Angel, do you like 80's rock like Deliverance and Stryper? At one point I was kind of into it. I don't know if I've ever listened to Deliverance, but I have listened to Stryper. Some of that was okay. I really like the sort of classic rock sound with the guitars and everything, but I've never really been a fan of the singing. I also listen to White Cross quite a bit. I even have a CD, mainly for, like I said, mainly for like the guitars and stuff. If we had guitarists with that sort of talent in the newer genres like progressive metal and stuff like that, it would be sick. Yeah, the only reason I really ever listened to it very much was because of the guitars and stuff. I'm not really a fan of that singing. I like power metal stuff, but like not like the classic rock stuff. Okay, got a couple more questions from Angel. How do you feel about Arch Enemy? If I remember right, that's like this female-fronted symphonic metal band, right? Arch Enemy. Pretty sure I've heard some of their stuff, but I didn't know if they were Christian or not. I don't really listen to a whole lot. I know when I did listen to some of their stuff, I liked the symphonic stuff, but not as much. Like I didn't really like the guitars. I don't really remember living. My phone will work. It's snowing right now, so we don't have very good service. Oh, there we go. Oh, they just released a 24-track album this year. Jeez. Maybe I should check that out. Let's listen to... Oh, that song says it's explicit. 18 million streams, though. That's insane. I'm gonna play it. Okay, I like that. Thought there was symphonic metal. See, that's a girl right now. She can scream better than me. Maybe they're not symphonic metal. Or maybe that song just didn't have the stronger symphonic sound. Music seems good, but I don't really know about what the songs are about or anything. Next question, from the same person, Angel. How do you feel when bands sound very generic and worldly? Seems that some lose sight of the Great Commission and winning souls for Jesus. It's just about entertainment, or some just use cliches and think they're doing what God wants. I feel like there are some bands, especially like, not to attack like Christian worship music, but there are just a couple of bands that seem like they're generic, and I'm not sure if I would say worldly. Maybe, I guess some of them would be, but I know some are kind of just like, they kind of just write about what, you know, like, I don't know if it's like what they feel like they should write, or they're just like writing because they feel like they have to, and I feel like it kind of just lacks that passion, like that actual true heart of worship, and that they're just saying what they feel like they should say, and not really like what they want to say as like they're worshiping. It's always bugged me. I can only just judge from like, I can only really know what I see and what I hear. I don't know what's going on in the hearts of those artists, and it's not really for me to say whether they're pursuing to grow God's kingdom and win souls for Jesus. Like I don't know what goes on, you know. I don't know what goes on in their lives. Maybe they reach out to people every day, maybe they don't. It's not really for me to like judge them or anything. It does bug me when bands sound very generic and just like, praise Jesus. Oh yeah. Like, I mean, what's the point of that sort of message when there's no passion in it? I would rather have like a band, you know, telling their story that might seem a little dark or something, and showing, you know, the redemption that they found in Jesus or something like that, rather than just like, praise Jesus, woohoo, like with no passion whatsoever and no true heart of worship. I guess that's the answer to your question. Yeah, it does bug me, but it's not really for me to judge them or, you know, really judge whether or not they're pursuing like that goal of winning souls for Jesus, because like we don't really know what's going on in their day-to-day lives. I think a lot of us are a little too worried about like what other people doing or what other Christians are doing, and we should spend more time like, am I pursuing that goal? Am I trying to win souls for Jesus? Like, not so much like are they, but like I feel like it should be more like we should be asking, am I trying to win souls for Jesus every day? Because you know, one thing I've really come to realize in the past year is often a lot of the things that we judge in other people is, you know, something that we do, like we do the same thing ourselves. So yeah, kind of got off on the rabbit trail there, but anyways, there's the answer to your question. That is all the questions for this week. Like I said, comment below your questions and I'll answer them next week in another Q&A video. Going to do the verse of the day and the quote for the day. So this verse is Deuteronomy 31:6. Be strong and of good courage. Do not fear nor be afraid of them. For the Lord your God, He is the one who goes with you. He will not leave you nor forsake you. Thought it'd be good to do a verse about courage, and it's just kind of something I'm learning about right now. I feel like I've just been struggling with, you know, feeling like God just isn't there, but I know that I shouldn't think that way, but like sometimes I feel that way, and but it says He is the one who goes with you. He will not leave you nor forsake you. So just a reminder to any of you guys as well that He is always there and He will never leave you or forsake you. So be strong and of good courage. Keep going. Now we're going to do a quote for the day, which is from Phineas from A Burning Sun. Okay. A coward said that you'll never amount to anything. You've still got the breath in your lungs, enough to fight the apathy. So walk out from behind those gates and feel the sun burn upon your face. You will be bestowed a new name, etched in stone, born in flame. Whew! Got chills from that. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool song by Phineas, called From a Burning Sun. And I think it's from The Last Word Is Yours to Speak. It's from that album. But that's probably one of my favorite albums by Phineas. Go and check that out if you haven't heard it. Some great stuff. There's the Christian Metal quote for the day and our verse for the day. So that is it for this Christian Metal Q&A video. Thank you guys for the questions. Keep them rolling. Keep the questions rolling so we can keep doing this as a weekly video. And I know there's quite a few viewers that watch that don't really comment, but I would like to get to know you guys too. So be sure to comment below. And yeah, make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. If you like these Q&A videos, be sure to go and check out my Q&A playlist. I'll put that in the description. And Go and check that out. Also, if you guys didn't know, I am a Christian metal solo artist, so you can go and check out my project Fire from Heaven on YouTube. I'll also link my channel in the description. For any of you musicians out there, be sure to go and subscribe, because I'm getting ready to start sort of a series of videos. I'm hoping to do it as a series. I'm just going to try and do at least a weekly series on my band page of where I give tips and tricks of how I get my sound and stuff like that, and just different tips for independent artists trying to be successful. Be sure to go subscribe to my solo project page, Fire from Heaven. All my original music is there, as well as some guitar riff videos and stuff like that. I'll see you guys in the next video. Christian Metalhead.